He divorced me with cancer, but my payback will be epic. My name is Elaine, and at 55, I find myself drowning in the sterile silence of a hospital room. The foot drip a chilling reminder of the vicious war raging within my own body. Cancer. Every breath is a struggle, every moment a battle. But the real betrayal, the gut-wrenching twist that shattered my world, didn't come from the disease. It came from George. He tossed me aside like yesterday's trash. Hubby divorced me when I got cancer. I have a young and healthy woman, he said with a laugh looking at me. But oh, he underestimated me. I have a plan, simmering beneath the surface. A quiet vengeance fueled by years of neglect and disrespect. And my 3 million changes everything. Nicole, the crisp touch of the hospital sheets, is a bitter contrast to the lingering warmth I used to crave from home. Before George, I was a widower with a bright-eyed daughter, Mia. He presented himself as a pillar of strength, a man of stature, a businessman whose allure was as much about his charisma as it was about the way he seemed eager to build a new life with me. How naive I was. Time has a way of mercilessly eroding facades, revealing the rot beneath. I dragged myself home from my demanding job as a financial analyst, only to face a second shift of unending expectations. Every effort I made fell short. I tested my domestic diligence, and I was destined to fail in his eyes. I can still hear his voice, laced with disdain, scrutinizing the dinner table. Elaine, is this the best you could do? Yet I continued to cook, clean, and care for him, even when my body screamed for rest. When the illness began to gnaw at my strength, my daughter, Mia, calls. I was too caught up in the cycle of appeasement to see the toll it was taking on her. To, Mom, how are you holding up? Her voice is thin, stretched with worry. I'm hanging in there, sweetie. How are you? There's a silence that stretches on for too long, and I know she's carrying a weight too heavy for her young shoulders. I'm worried about you, Mom. He doesn't seem to care. Her words are a punch to the gut, but not unexpected. Mia, I know, it's okay. We have each other. I say, the words tasting like a mix of sadness and steely resolve. There's a pause, and then her voice, stronger now. I'm here every step of the way, Mom. Don't you worry about that. Just worry about getting better. Her reassurance is the anchor I didn't know I desperately needed. It makes me realize that beyond the sterile walls of this hospital room, beyond the cold dinners and the vacant look in George's eyes, there is hope. I see it in Mia's unwavering support, in the book she's reading, in the life she's building. Her resilience and independence make me incredibly proud, and I cling to the fact that I played some part in shaping the incredible woman she's become. I lie back, closing my eyes, as Mia's promises echo in my mind. The hospital room feels less confining somehow. I am not alone. The next morning, I'm up, pulling on the clothes I laid out the night before. My movements as automatic as the coffee maker that sputters to life in the kitchen. George is still asleep. The rise and fall of his chest is only evidence of life. At work, the numbers and spreadsheets are a welcome distraction. They don't complain. They don't judge. They just wait for me to make sense of them. My colleagues are another story, buzzing around with office gossip and weekend plans. Elaine, how are you? Shona from accounting says, popping her head into my cubicle. I manage a smile, though I can't remember the last time I had plans that didn't involve George or a grocery list. I'm all right, thanks, Shona. Maybe next time. She gives me a sympathetic pat on the shoulder before buzzing off to her next conversation. Back home, the routine continues. I'm chopping vegetables for the stew George likes when he walks in early from work. I brace myself for whatever version of him is coming through the door. Smells good, he says, which feels like a small victory. I let out the breath I have been holding. It should be ready in about an hour. He grunts, disappearing into the living room. The TV comes to life, and I'm left alone in the kitchen with the carrots and potatoes. I find comfort in the rhythm of my knife against the cutting board, a simple, predictable sound. Later, we sit across from each other at the dining table, a chasm of unsaid words stretching between us. He's scrolling through his phone, oblivious. Thinking of your mom, I hope dinner went well. George looks up, as narrowing. Was that Mia? I reply innocently, just checking in, trying to keep the conversation light. He scoffs, going back to his phone, and we finish dinner in silence. I clean up, the clinking of dishes filling the empty air. Tomorrow will be the same, I think. But tonight, Mia is on her way, a reminder that not everything is as cold and unforgiving as this routine. There's warmth, there's love. Mom, there's something you should know. I squeeze her hand, encouraging her to continue. What is it, sweetie? It's about Dad. He has someone else. I felt the air suck from the room. It felt like someone was inside. He introduced her to me, playing house with her like our own child. Mia's voice cracks. I could hear her fighting tears, her eyes not leaving mine. There's a long pause as I process this betrayal. Thank you for telling me, sweetheart. I managed to say at last. How long have you known? Just a few days. I didn't want to upset you, but I thought it was better you hear it from me. The dull hum of the hospital seems to fade into silence. I'm grateful for her honesty. We'll deal with this, I say. Mia leans forward. I'm here for you, Mom, whatever you need. I draw a deep breath, my mind already turning. My husband's betrayal is a deep cut, but I won't let it be the end of my story. There's a plan for me, a way out of the mess he's made. I feel the first stirrings of a future where I'm no longer in the shadows of a loveless marriage. I will rise from this with a cunning that's been honed by years of quiet observation. I look at Mia, her strength becoming my own. Let's start planning, I say, and there's a new determination in my voice that is the foundation we'll build upon. And as Mia smiles, a small, fierce smile, I know we'll win this battle together. The next day, Mia arrives with her laptop tucked under her arm and a look in her eyes that says she means business. She pulls up a chair next to my hospital bed. Mom, let's talk strategy, she says with a determined nod. I can't help but smile at her spirit. I've been thinking about that, I admit. I want to be fair, but I also want to protect myself, my future, and yours. First things first, we should get a lawyer. Someone who can help us navigate the divorce smoothly. I agree. Yes, a lawyer. I will need to gather all the financial documents. I've got most of them at home in the safe. We can go through them together. What about the house and the rest of the assets? I asked Mia, carefully watching for her response. I am finally going to be free. I've been doing some math, I said, feeling the edge of the bed with my fingers. The house, I think I'll let him have it. Mia frowns. Really? Are you sure? I'm not sentimental. I want a fresh start. Plus, I've got something he doesn't know about. Her eyebrows raise with curiosity. What's that? The investment account. The one my father helped me set up before the marriage. It's quite a bit of money there. Enough for a new place and a comfortable life. Mia's eyes widen. He doesn't know about that. No way. That money was from before we married. And I want to keep it that way. Got it? We keep that account quiet. We should also think about alimony or any spousal support. I shake my head. I don't want his money, but I won't say no if it's offered. It could be useful. Okay? Mia says. And after the legal stuff is sorted, that's when I start my new life. Looking out the window, I continue. I want to travel, see places I've always dreamed of. When I'm well, of course. Mia reaches out and squeezes my hand. You'll get well, Mom, and I'll be right there with you, wherever you go. I squeeze back, feeling a surge of gratitude for this girl. No, this woman, who's been my rock. We're in this together, I say, and it's more than just about the plan. It's about us, our journey ahead, and the unspoken understanding that we're a team now. But for the beginning of something new. Just the two of us ready to face whatever comes next. Lying on my hospital bed, Mia walked into the room, her face flushed from the cold outside. All right, it's time, she said, sitting down beside me. Are you sure you're up for this? Mom, I nodded, the thought in my arm a stark reminder of my current weakness. I'm sure, it's now or never. Mia took out her phone, her thumb hovering over the screen. I'm about to text Dad. I'll tell him that you want to discuss the divorce and that you're willing to talk about a settlement. That'll get his attention. Mia sent the text. It didn't take long for her phone to buzz. She read the message and looked up at me. He's fighting. He wants to come over tomorrow to talk terms. I couldn't help the wry chuckle that escaped my lips. Talk terms? Is it all right when he comes? Let him believe he's in control. Mia frowned slightly. Are you okay with this? With him coming here and acting like he's won? I reached for her hand. It's just an act. Mia, remember that. We're letting him think he's won because it's the only way to get what we need from him. Mia squeezed my hand back, her own determination returning to her eyes. Okay, Mom, I trust you. And I added, make sure he sees the safe when he comes. It's empty, but he doesn't know that. If he thinks there's something valuable in there, it'll keep him focused on the wrong thing. I saw Mia making a mental note. Got it? And after he leaves, we proceed with the divorce as planned. But remember, whatever happens, don't let on about the money. That's our secret. Mia stood up. I'll do it. We'll get through this just like you said, together. As she walked out, I laid back against my pillow, closing my eyes. This was just the beginning of this new power. The morning light crept through the blinds, casting lines across the hospital room floor. I had barely slept. The rhythmic beeping of the monitor beside my bed a constant reminder of my situation. There was a knock on the door. I asked Mia to open the door. Then George. He had a smirk on his face that made my stomach turn, but I kept my expression neutral. Hello, George, I said, my voice steady. Didn't expect to see you looking so alive, he sneered, taking a seat without being offered one. So, what's this about a settlement? I took a deep breath. I want to keep things simple. You can have the house. His smirk widened. That's generous of you. What's the catch? No catch, I replied. I just want to end this cleanly. I'm tired. I don't have the energy for a fight. Mia, I suppose you'll be wanting spousal support. Then, I shook my head slightly. No, I don't want your money. I'll manage on my own. He leans back, looking suspicious. What's your game here? You're giving up everything. What are you hiding? Nothing to hide, I said, allowing a hint of fatigue to seep into my voice. I just want peace, George. I think you do too. He snorted. Yeah, peace with a young, beautiful woman waiting for me. Mia's hand clenched into a fist, but she didn't speak. I hope she makes you happy, I said quietly. George stood up, looking around the room once more. Fine, I'll have my lawyer call yours. We'll get this over with. As he reached the door, he paused and looked back at me. You're a fool. You know that. Letting go of everything without fight. I met his gaze, my own eyes clear. Maybe, but sometimes letting go is the only way to move forward. George shook his head and left, the door closing with a soft click behind him. Mia rushed to my side. Are you okay? Mom, I'm fine. Now, we just have to follow through. Mia hugged me. You're the bravest person I know. I hugged her back, allowing myself this moment of warmth. Maybe, but I'm not in this alone. Am I? No? Mom, Mia whispered. Not alone. The ink on the divorce papers wasn't even dry when Mia dropped the bomb about the money. She was hesitant at first, and it was just another scene in this absurd play my life had become. Dad knows about the 3 million. Mom, Mia said, her voice barely above a whisper. I expected as much. It didn't take long for him to make his move. The next day, he was at my hospital room door, his eyes wide with a mix of greed and desperation. He knelt by my bed, taking my hand in his. Elaine, I've been a fool. He started. Please, let's put all this behind us and start over. I looked at him, and it was liberating. I couldn't help but laugh. Start over, I said, pulling my hand away. There's nothing to start over with. It's done. His face turned an ugly shade of red. Do you think you can mock me? I'll take you to court. I'll take every penny of that money. That money, I said calmly, almost enjoying this, is safely out of your reach. It's in my father's name. There's not a thing you can do about it. But before he could form any more words, security was at the door, alerted by the commotion. They didn't even need to speak. Their presence was enough. George's outburst was his final act, his curtain call. As they escorted him out, a pathetic sound that faded with each step. I leaned back against my pillows, a sense of peace settling over me. I finally let out a long breath. Are you okay? Mom, I reached for her hand, a smile playing on my lips. I am now. Sweetheart, it's truly over. We sat in silence for a moment, the weight of the past lifting, leaving room for something new, something better. And as the door closed on the last vestige of my old life, I felt ready to face a new day. It was a clean slate, a true new beginning, and I was ready to write my own story. Life after cancer, and George felt like stepping out of a long, dark tunnel into sunlight. I bought a house with a big garden, a place that felt truly ours. One afternoon, Mia and I were sitting on the porch, sipping lemonade and watching the sun dip below the trees. She had been helping me unpack boxes, turning the house into a home. Her laughter was a frequent sound here, echoing off the walls. You know, Mom, Mia said, her eyes scanning the yard. I've never seen you this relaxed. I smiled, feeling the warmth of the sun on my face. I have a lot to be thankful for. I beat cancer. I'm free of George. And I have you. She squeezed my hand. I'm just glad you're finally putting yourself first. You always took care of me, even when I wasn't your responsibility. I shook my head. You were always my responsibility. Mia, from the moment I decided to be your mom, that was it. You are my family. Mia, her eyes misted over, and she gave me a teary smile. I'm glad he's out of our lives. I've never liked how he treated you, and now we don't have to deal with his drama anymore. The sun had almost completely set. I stood, feeling more alive than I had in years. Let's go inside. I'll make us dinner. Our favorite, spaghetti and meatballs. She hopped up, following me into the kitchen. Can I help? Rolling up her sleeves. Of course, you can start by rolling the meatballs. We moved around the kitchen together, a dance we had perfected over years of cooking side by side. As I washed her hands, so much like mine, shaping the meatballs, a sense of contentment washed over me. This is what real family feels like. There were no harsh words here, no expectations or disappointment, just me and Mia, and a future we could shape into whatever we wanted. After years of just going through the motions, I was finally living, and I had my real family, my daughter, to thank for it. So, Reddit, after everything you've heard, was I wrong to take back what was mine without telling him and not giving him spousal support since he cheated on me and left me when I got cancer? Did I handle this whole messy situation the right way based on these details? Please share your thoughts and opinions. I'm eager to hear what you all think, and your insights are greatly appreciated given all the circumstances that transpired surrounding George and his actions towards me and Mia during that terrible time in our lives.